Hey Dolly friends, it's Near and Far Reborn Dolls here with a Collector's Corner edition. I am so excited to announce that I am expecting a new fairy reborn in my collection. I have not added a fairy in years, and probably almost 10 years since I started collecting, and I haven't added a new doll to my collection for about a year. So you're probably thinking, well, you're a reborn doll artist. Like, why would you purchase a reborn from someone else? Well, I can make a doll, and I know what my particular style is, but there are people out there who have a very definite point of view and a very definite style that I really admire. And I can't duplicate that, nor would I actually want to try, because it's their unique point of view. A perfect example of that is Sweet Potato Pie Nursery. When you look at a doll, you can instantly tell that it's one of hers. And I am so pleased to have in my collection a prototype mason that she did, and I just love her. She's little Hazel. And then also my next recent purchase was House of Reborns, also who makes beautiful ethnic and AA babies. And this is from another artist that I have been following for a while, Saint Cloud Nursery. She is here on YouTube. Make sure Saint is S-A-I-N-T, not S-T. But she also has a very unique painting style and a very unique point of view. I've been watching her Haunted Circus line of clown babies and really, really wanted one of those, and almost was just about ready to purchase one. And then she came up with a fairy, and I was just like, that's it. I've got to get a fairy. Fairies are really what got me into reborn dolls in the first place. I collected fairies that to me represent the 4 seasons. But I started collecting fairies at the very end of the time period where there were a lot of fairy sculpts that were full size. Now, nowadays there are a lot of fairy sculpts, but they're all teeny tiny babies. And so because I was collecting towards the end of Shawna Clymer doing the full-size fairies, the quality of the reborns I got were not always that great. And so when this new fairy comes, she is going to be replacing one of my older fairy sculpts. And these are 3 of them. So what I'd love you to help me out with today is which one should unfortunately be the one that's going to go. Who's going to go to make room for the new fairy? So let me introduce you to all of the fairies here. I do have one that I'm definitely going to keep. She is a higher quality than these 3. And I think I'll start from right to left. So right here, this is Autumn Mariposa. Autumn was the very first custom sculpt that I ever had done, and it was done by an artist who had never done a fairy before. And there are some things that I absolutely love about her. I love her skin tone. Her skin tone is a gorgeous pink, and I also love her ears. If you can see her ears have sort of a reddish hue to them. It's very subtle, and I absolutely adore it. That was my idea. I asked the artist to do that. She's incredibly soft and smooth. I love that about her. And I love her red hair. I have a thing for the redheads, but her rooting isn't that great. If you take a look at it, it looks kind of pluggy. She's looking more like a strawberry blonde on camera, but she is actually a fiery red. It is late at night here, and here we're having problems with the smoke from all the California fires, so it's very, very dark for this time of night. Oh, keep bumping my camera. And then the other thing about her is her nails. They are not that great. They look like someone, I don't know, they look like someone painted them with nail polish. But I love her face. She has my favorite face of all the babies. And again, like I said, I absolutely adore her ears. So the next baby that possibly I might sell to make room is another Shawna Clymer sculpt. And she came all the way from South Africa. And she has very minimal painting. So I know this sculpt. There's no mottling. There's no veining really. Her nails are tipped. And I do like her hair. Her sort of a greenish shade of hair and this little shock of pink in the front. But she's definitely made as a child's play doll. Her hair is very, very thick. It's not anywhere close to being micro-rooted. And personally, I don't bond as well with open-eyed babies. I don't know what it is. I have very few open-eyed babies in my collection for that reason. And she's the only open-eyed fairy that I have. So she's one that I'm thinking of selling to make room for this new one that's coming. And then last of all is another Shawna Clymer sculpt. Oh, let me show you. By the way, this is Serenity. She's got tiny little ears. And this is the fairy, by the way, that represents springtime. So she's Azelea Willow. And then my last one here is, again, she has minimal painting. I do like her face. She has a very cute face, and she has sort of the larger ears, which I like. I tend to like the little bit larger ears. She is also not mono-rooted or micro-rooted, but her rooting's better than Azelea. And this is Aurora Dawn. She's the summer fairy. And again, she doesn't really have mottling. She doesn't have veining. Her nails have been tipped and they look nice. There's no creasing done on her. I have opened her mouth so that she could take a pacifier because she does not have a magnet. So she can take, if you cut the end off a pacifier, she can take a pacifier, and that works because she has very thin lips. So you can be expecting another video from me in about a week or so, introducing you to the new fairy. But in the meantime, I would love it if in the description below you would give me an idea of who do you think needs to unfortunately go to someone new, and who should stay in the collection. Do you think the fall fairy, Aurora? Do you think the spring fairy, Azelea? Or do you think it should be the summer fairy, Aurora? Who should go in the nursery? I would love to hear your thoughts about that, and I'd love to hear what you think about the fairies in general. I really wish Shawna Clymer would come up with some more full-size fairy sculpts. Just because, like I said, no one's doing them anymore. So I prefer the bigger fairies so that I can dress them in regular clothes. So what do you think? Thanks for tuning in today to TFN. Ta-ta for now.